Alright, we're going to be covering the 5 best episodes of the TV show Monsters for Season 3. And then after this, we'll do a top 10 for the entire series. And then we'll be done with Monsters. So these are the 5 best episodes of Season 3. And I'm going to do from 1 to 5. We're not doing 5 to 1. We're bucking the trend here. So 3 episodes got a 9 out of 10. Bughouse, The Waiting Game, and The Waiting Room. And then 2 got 8 out of 10s. So I think the best episode of Monsters Season 3 is episode 16, The Waiting Room. And we'll get right to it.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I thought this was my room.
Tell me who you are.
Oh, my name is Benjamin O'Connell. I was just... Look, I'm sorry. Please, I'll go.
Benjamin O'Connell. You don't have to go. You can stay if you'd like.
Do you live here? I mean, in the hotel?
I live here in my room. Do you like it?
This is the scariest episode of Monsters so far. So already from the first scene, we know something is off. Since a couple is celebrating their honeymoon. John and Catherine, this is so romantic. Unfortunately, they have a really obtrusive third wheel. Their father has decided to travel with them to this hotel to spend their honeymoon together. This sounds like exactly what a couple would not want. Their father hovering over them. The father of the man getting married, hovering over them. Pretty sure for a honeymoon, you just want it to be you and the girl. But Benjamin the father has brought this couple to this hotel for a reason. And there is a snowstorm outside, so they can't leave the hotel. And the father tells his son that him and his wife, so John, the guy who just got married, his mom and his dad, also spent their honeymoon at this hotel 20 years ago. Once again, TMI. Not really the information you want to hear from your mom and dad. But this episode is so unique and has a lot of atmosphere, which is missing from Monsters episodes, where there's a lot of creeping around, and there's a thing that happens where if Benjamin enters a room and the lights are off, there's a chance that this mysterious girl that we just saw will appear. And so there's a game that's being played here where each character, in the case of Benjamin, is trying to keep the lights on, and in the case of Catherine, she's trying to turn the lights off, since her husband ends up disappearing into this hotel. And so we get a bit of a cat and mouse game where she's trying to find inventive ways to turn these lights off. So if Benjamin walks into a room, he will encounter this ghost lady that he cheated on his wife with 20 years ago.
Will you come back?
Yes, but I've got to go now. Go back to sleep.
Promise me you'll come back.
I promise, but go back to sleep.
Benjamin, will you give me a child and will we be together always?
Hello? Can you hear me? You've taken my husband away. You've taken what's mine. Give him back and I'll see that you get what you want. Can you hear me? Please, if you're there, answer me. Hello?
Promise.
What did you say?
Promise about my Benjamin.
Yes. Yes, I promise.
He promised too.
I've just never really seen anything else like this. For a show that specializes in schlocky horror and costumes, this one is very mature, well written, and really smart. It works perfect for the budget since you get a few different locations, but it's all set in this second floor of this hotel and this hallway that you see a lot. And already with this first meeting of this ghost lady, it's very creepy since she appears in this episode and starts off looking beautiful and then gets more and more, well, ghastly. So I just love the effects of turning the lights off, then having the thing where Catherine actually removes the bulbs from the hallway so that when Benjamin goes into the hallway, he's plunged into the darkness and he's like, oh shit, oh no, this ghost lady's gonna appear, hold on. And never knowing when someone opens a door, like a Resident Evil game, not only what is behind that door, if it's gonna be light, and I love it. It really grabs me, and as I said before, it really does feel mature and takes this into the upper echelon.
I haven't heard from you for over a year. And then I get a call from the real estate agent saying that you've moved in. We agreed to sell the cabin after Dad died.
I won't be here that long.
May, the place is falling apart. I mean, how can you live here, alone, and in your condition?
My condition?
What are you, 7, 8 months? May, how come you didn't tell me? I'm your sister.
The very close second is Bug House, another more mature and somber episode. In fact, as far as the look and feel of this episode, I actually think it's the best of the series. It has a blue tint over the visuals the entire time, and everyone looks very pale, and the house that they're living in crumbling from the inside, and it features creepy crawlies. Main character is Ellen, and she's staying with her sister, May, who she hasn't seen in a long time, and has become very worried about her sister May, who is now pregnant. And Ellen especially doesn't like May's boyfriend, Peter, who seems to be the one that is keeping her in this captivity, not letting her see other people, and getting her pregnant. Ellen looks at the surroundings of this house and sees tons of bugs in the cupboard, sees they're not eating healthy, and wants to remove them from this situation, but Peter is adamant that May stay here with him. There's also a nice back and forth between May and Ellen, where May mentions that Ellen always wanted the things that she had when she was growing up, and would constantly steal her boyfriends, as Ellen is the more attractive and popular girl now, and was the more popular, attractive girl growing up. And this dynamic of May being jealous of her sister has carried through into adulthood. Because Ellen actually does steal her boyfriend. She literally steals her boyfriend Peter in this episode and sleeps with him. We get lots of interesting shots of POV from the insects' point of view. We get to see them walk around this house, which is pretty unusual for monsters. Usually they're in 1 or 2 locations, but they've actually built this set so that it has some verticality to it. And you see them going upstairs and going into different rooms, and it just feels very creepy. You don't exactly know where this story is going. And the reveal at the end is grotesque and well worth the wait, which I guess I'll spoil here. So Bug House is a great episode, and you should check it out. It's also one of the most popular ones. I actually saw a clip of this episode on YouTube back in the day, and it made me want to check out the entire series. So thanks, Bug House.
Please, darling, push. It's beautiful. All my children are beautiful.
Peter?
What is it, my darling?
You won't leave me, will you?
No, my dear. I won't. Turn it.
Nuclear winter. Get used to it. Forecast for more of the same.
You know, I thought I saw something moving out there before.
Maybe just something blowing in the wind. Radiation out there is hot enough to kill anything. Even the cockroaches aren't coming back from this one.
It can't be like this everywhere. Levin, what the hell happened? I mean, what maniac thought he could win a nuclear war?
War in the Middle East, maybe? Terrorists, maybe? Maybe just a screw-up. We'll never know. One thing for sure, though. Nobody won this war.
Well, we made it. I mean, there must be others.
Tyler, take a good look out there.
The color of the episode Bughouse was blue, and the color of the next episode we're going to cover, The Waiting Game, is yellow, and it deals with a nuclear holocaust, where a missile is launched for unknown reasons by these army officers in a nuclear silo, and they are actually kept safe from the blast, since they are in a bunker. However, they look outside and see that the entire Earth is destroyed. Are they the only ones left? Well, I guess we'll have to see. And there's so many places you can go with this. It also fits monsters really well, since anytime you can have a horror series where someone's secluded, makes it much cheaper. And this is a good excuse. They can't go outside. There's too much radiation. They'll die immediately. Lieutenant Eric Tyler and his captain, Stanley, finds that there are at least 2 more people that survived in this other missile silo. They correspond with them through radio, and one of them is Maureen, and Eric Tyler takes a bit of a liking to her. This one has a good twist at the end, because you're wondering what exactly happened to this world. They don't 100% explain it, but once you realize this is not just 2 nuclear-armed countries firing missiles at each other, this is actually nuclear vampires that have taken over the entire world. They thrive in this nuclear wasteland. They can survive, and if they bite you, they can turn you into a nuclear vampire too, and you can go out into the nuclear waste and feed and be free. So in a way, they get a good ending. They get to be these superhuman vampires for the rest of their life, but you can understand the hesitancy to want to take these nuclear vampires up on this, since you have to kill you first. I almost wish they revealed the nuclear vampires earlier. They reveal them towards the end, but you get some hints at some people that die before that there's something out there in this wasteland that's killing people. So just as we think that's the ending, the nuclear vampires are coming down into this missile silo, we get kind of a sarcastic ending, feeling like something that John Carpenter would write. I really like it. And that's why it's the 3rd best episode of Season 3, because we see that Captain Stanley is eventually going to be turned into a vampire as well, but it might take them a little while to crack this code.
Great, Captain. You're here. Would you mind opening the door? What a pain. Oh! Hey! I have the answer. The 11-letter word for tenacity? The word is persistence. Oh, well, that's okay. We have all the time in the world.
The 4th best episode of Season 3 is episode 6, The Hole. Another hot episode. We just had one about a nuclear holocaust. Now we have one about the Vietnam War, specifically the tunnels operated by the Viet Cong during the Vietnam War. This one is yellow as well, and you can just feel the heat from the screen as they spend almost the entire episode hunched over, going through these tunnels, trying to do a Saving Private Ryan operation. And what do they find when they get into these tunnels? Well, there's a curse, of course. And we get zombies, and really good-looking zombies. There's many ways to do zombies. You can just have them kind of look like skeletons. You can do the George A. Romero, where their arms are just right in front of them going, "Ugh." Or you can have something in between, which is what we get here. They are in some ways fast-moving, but also look a lot like skeletons with their clothes torn. And I think it's a really great look that could actually match some of the stuff we saw movies in the 80s with their costume design. I just love everything about this episode. I like the look of it. I like how fast-paced it is. I like how modern it feels. It's a simple story. They're going through these tunnels and fighting zombies, but we actually get a lot of action, which we don't get in a lot of Monsters episodes. And more shows and more movies should make zombies that look like this. They look awesome. I love it. And it's a good environment for them too, since this place is so claustrophobic. It makes the viewer feel claustrophobic. And also, you never know when a bony arm is going to burst out of one of the walls and just grab one of the people. Since these zombies not only own the tunnels, they also seem like they're apparitions as well that can control the exits and entrances to these tunnels to make sure that these American soldiers can't escape and then close in on them. It's really great. And the main character, Sergeant Kenner, is played by Ahmad Rashad, who was a former NFL wide receiver. In the 70s, playing for the St. Louis Cardinals. Is his intimidating form and large biceps enough to fight off these monsters? Well, check this one out and you'll see. Most likely not. Last but certainly not least is the very last episode to ever air in April 26 of 1991, being the conclusion of the series of monsters after 3 seasons, and that's The Moving Finger, and it's based on a short story by Stephen King called The Moving Finger. That was published in 1990 in the magazine of fantasy and science fiction. So this is actually the first adaptation of that short story. And then in 1993, after Monsters had already been canceled, most people read it, including myself, and Nightmares and Dreamscapes. And they went out on a bang with a very bizarre episode, but also kind of funny and extremely bloody. It's like they were just giving a middle finger to everyone, the censors, the network, everything. We're just going to go out on a bang. Tom Noonan plays the main character, Howard, who simply finds a very long finger that's coming up through his drain in his bathroom, and he begins battling with his finger, trying to cut at it, but then it comes out of the toilet and comes out of other places. And this really isn't a finger so much as it is a very long, grotesque cord that doesn't ever seem to die. And I think it's supposed to be implied that it's from some type of monster that's like a house that has all these appendages that it could just kind of attack him with. And it is a delight. It's hilarious. It's funny. It's extremely bloody, and I almost feel bad giving it the 5th best episode of Season 3. But Season 3 was a real banger, so sorry, Moving Finger. You get a number 5. And this one and the last episode, The Hole, both got 8s out of 10s. In fact, this might be the most monster episode of the series Monsters.
Oh my God.
Did you come to use the toilet? Go right ahead. The problem's taken care of.
What problem is that, sir?
You know, there are 5 fingers on a hand. That's only one hand, mind you. you ever considered how many holes there are in the modern bathroom?
Would you put your hands out for me, sir?
There's a sink and a toilet and the overflows and the tub, and there's always another hole.
Whose blood is this, Mr. Mittler?
That's the fingers.
Whose finger?
It's a good question. You know, on second thought, I would recommend most strongly against using the toilet. If I were you, officer, I'd hold it as long as I possibly could.
What's in there, Mr. Mittler?
I like game shows. But there's one question you know, they never ask. You know, all these terrible things, you know, like murder and robbery, you know, and fingers in the drain, happen to the nicest people. That's a bad idea.
So that concludes our 5 best of season 3. We're going to do a top 10 best and top 10 worst, then we're all done monsters. And I probably won't be doing top 5 best and top 5 worst for every season of every anthology show I cover, but I thought it'd be fun to do it with monsters and revisit these old ones. And even rewatching them at this time 4 or 5 times, I still never get tired of them. It's a great series, so check it out. And check out our playlist for all episodes of the other series we've covered: Tales from the Dark Side, Mystery Science Theater, Black Mirror, Cowboy Bebop, Pet Shop of Horrors. Thanks a lot.
Oh, great! It's Monsters, our favorite show.
It's starting.